Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well whenever you're watching this video. Today we've got some big news. We have a new kit launch and we're going to get excited about that. Aston Villa, out of nowhere, by the way, have dropped the new kit. It's a little bit complicated as well to talk about in terms of when it's available for you to buy. But Villa have done it. And again, split opinion, it seems, online. As always with Aston Villa, there's never one opinion, but always split. So that's exciting news. Jacob Ramsey, we've got to talk about him. Again, his name is surfacing, whether it's rumours, whether it's just speculation, but Nottingham Forest are setting him as their primary target, as well as Everton and West Ham, huge interest. And of course, there's updates on the likes of Emi Martinez, Ollie Watkins, and Alejandro Garnacho. That's what we've got in store for us tonight, people. So if you haven't already, make sure you're smashing the like button for me. That's the formality, as always. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. You can see up here, there's our subscriber count. The road to 15K. I'm keen to hit it. Help me get there on my way. And of course, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your comments always go a massive long way for me. So thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Let's get into the show. Big up to everyone. Great to see so many people in here. Got to keep this going to 9:30 so we can raid the Villa Park podcast. Agree. I've actually told Rich about turning that on. I tried to raid him once and he didn't have the redirect on. So hopefully he's got it on. If anyone can give him a nudge, I will happily redirect to there. But he's got to have it enabled, which he didn't last time. Big up to the Michaels, though, in the chat. Michael's Pro. Big up to AV Transport is now aviation. He's changed. Big up to Kevin. He's in there. British Met. It's getting pretty tedious now, ain't it? Fair play to the content creators for keeping the content can. But yeah, it's and I'm glad you sort of can see from my perspective, British Met, that it's not easy, and the others. Look, we want to make content. We want to talk. I like getting on here and being able to deliver news, but sometimes we are scraping the barrel, so to speak, because yeah, it's nothing concrete. There's nothing too much to get about. But however, the exciting thing is we do have the Walsall game tomorrow. We can get our teeth into a bit of pre-season action. I'm really looking forward to that and doing the watch on for that. Big up to Alan Ford, my lord. How are you? Evening, Josh and the gang. And Heidi was excited to see you in the chat. Big up to you. Yeah, she loves the chant. That's why she absolutely loves the Alan Ford, my lord chant. And yeah, Enzo Barnchea. Again, happy to discuss further about him because simply, again, Villa, are we okay in the head? You know, loan in instead of buying. I know there's an obligation to buy, but there is an asterisk by obligation to buy as well. It's all very strange. It's all very weird. I'm not too sure, again, what is going on with our decision-making. We saw Kosta Najolkovic get loaned out for a season instead of a permanent. Enzo is happening again. People, I can't get my head around it, but there we go. So, look, as I said, make sure you are smashing the like button for me. It does go a long way. And we're going to get into the first story today, which is about none other than Mr. Jacob Ramsey. Look, JJ, he was discussed before this PSR deadline because essentially he was a player which will give you 100% profit. He's a player that, you know, exclusively and massively are someone that you could see why clubs would go for a player like Jacob Ramsey because of his age, because of his profile, English, winger, exciting, not quite being a regular at Aston Villa, but still a big part to play. Well, the story and news has broken today, so here we go on that one. Foundation bag, yeah. Look, do you know what? I must say on these shirts, we've tried everything to get these badges. We've tried all sorts. The Champions League badge is hanging on. The Foundation badge is hanging on. But it's a good job there's a new kit out. But yeah, we've tried everything. We're going to have to resort this out. We're probably going to have to get it done another way. But we've tried ironing it on. We've tried gluing it on. We've tried anything to keep it on. It's just flapping around, isn't it? So yeah, there we go. But let me get the Jacob Ramsey story up for you all so you can all see it. And as I said, let me know your thoughts on this one. Is it speculation? Is there anything to it? What are you guys feeling about it? Let me know. So it says, exclusive, Nottingham Forest have made Aston Villa forward Jacob Ramsey a primary summer target to bolster their squad. When previously linked with clubs, the potential fee has been upwards of £30 million. Now, that's the bit I'm not too happy with. That's the bit I'm not too happy with. I'm not happy with £30 million, I'll be honest. £30 million is a little bit of a lower value as to what I was expecting. I don't know how you guys feel on it as well. But I thought that was an absolute cop-out of a price for Jacob Ramsey. Now, rumours are rumours. It is Mike McGrath. Again, whether you think Mike McGrath is a good, reliable source is up to you. But yeah, I'm going to go into the article in a minute. Just to be clear, this is obviously from the Telegraph. Mike McGrath is here. And look, do you know what? Actually, he's already lost his credit. And I'll tell you why. Man United target 60 million rated Brian Mbeumo as well as Matheus Cunha. Obviously, he's tried to show that he was in the know in this one early. But Mbeumo looks like he's going to fall through. And yes, he did obviously call the Matheus Cunha one, but he's trying to boast and say he gets his stories right. Well, here's a foot reporter at the Daily Telegraph, nearly 100,000. He's trying to flex on a Brian Mbeumo story that hasn't actually landed. So I'm actually, trying to downplay him almost, that he's actually a little bit wrong there. So there we go. But what do we think? 30 million. Forest as well. Why would Nottingham Forest be looking to replace or buy Jacob Ramsey? Well, it's as simple as that, isn't it? The reason why they want him is because they've just let Elanga basically go to Newcastle. They need a wide player. They're looking for Premier League proven. It's there. It's interesting. I want to know. JJ, 30 million to Forest. Doesn't make sense to me. The reason why it doesn't make sense to me is two things. Number one, Forest could be a rival to Villa next season. They were this year. There's no reason why they couldn't go and do it again. Number two, I think 30 million is an absolute horrendous price for a young English wide forward who has, of course, basically, in my opinion, looking at trying to break into an England setup if he was fit and ready. I'd also think that Jacob Ramsey and Aston Villa would need to have a replacement pretty swift and pretty ready. But it's been very split online. I do want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the chat right now. Honest opinions. Would you lose Jacob Ramsey? Are you happy to cash in on Jacob Ramsey? Do you rate Jacob Ramsey? I will give my spiel in a minute. And I saw something that probably summarised Aston Villa fans and Villa Twitter in a nutshell. But do I rate Jacob Ramsey? I'll let you know on that one in a second. Man United fans are absolutely nuts in that sense as well. Big up to KBS Edits. Big up to Connor as well. Alan Ford says, fine. And now I'm home from work. I'm not until Thursday, so just chilling with you lot. Love it. And I'm sure you'll enjoy the game tomorrow, Alan. Big up to Stephen and Nieto as well. Good day to you all at the Villa. And I'll come to that. Obviously, Stephen, we've got a lot to talk about today. Alan says it's cheapskates. If they offer 40 million, I'll maybe consider it. Yeah. And Tommy K is coming and saying, you need the funds for PSR, so we'll get him cheap enough. I'm afraid that's not true anymore. I'm afraid that Villa have got plan A, plan B, plan C when it comes to PSR problems. We're absolutely on top of it. We're all over it. And we should be. We don't need to sell like the media got everyone scared to see. So there we go. But Jacob Ramsey is top bloke. I like him. I love he's one of our own. But the guy's end product ability doesn't match his effort. It pains me to say this. He's reached the ceiling and lacks the footy IQ to progress. Look, I love that British Mitt has stuck it out there, put it on Jacob Ramsey, given a balanced view. And I think that actually I am in the similar mindset as you. I really am. Lucky Robot says it's massive for your PSR though. Forest only paid 50 million for Anderson. With 30 million, you could spend 100 plus. I get why you're trying to say we need him. I know that Forest need a winger. You need a winger. You need an Elanga replacement. And I do think, I'll be honest, I think Jacob Ramsey would absolutely flourish at Forest if he stayed injury-free. I'll put that one out there. I think Jacob Ramsey to Forest be injury-free. Here's my take. I would let Jacob Ramsey go to Nottingham Forest for a fee of around 40 to 45. I'd be pushing for that. I'd be pushing for a 40 to 45 million fee for Jacob Ramsey, and I'd be happy to let him go. Because I think with that money and with 100% profit as his academy boy, 40, 45 mil, we could get a good replacement. Here's the downside of selling Jacob Ramsey. He counts as a homegrown player. He counts as one of the quota you need in European competitions, and he's something of a number as a player. So let me just sort of reword that better. It's not just about Jacob Ramsey as a footballer, but it's about how Jacob Ramsey helps you fall in lines with UEFA obligation and squad status, so to speak. Does that make sense, people in the chat? He's a homegrown player. I'll try and find better wording in there. But have a look at this. Big up to Fraser as well. I'm smashing out an edit. Love it. Have a look at this wording. Have a look at this wording as well. This sums up Villa Twitter. Ready? So, Chris Dolan, put this. Absolutely fuming if Jacob Ramsey leaves Villa. That's what he's put. And of course, there's responses, people responding. Likewise, let's see what it would be. It would be a massive mistake, says Lotus. This one's quite interesting. I'm just a little dead inside this window and going forward. We can blame PSO, but the recruitment and contract decisions we have made these last few years have directly caused our current financial mess. We now face dismantling everything we built as a result. Contract issues does fall on Gerrard and co. With Dendonki, with Coutinho, with those guys. Buendia's on a high contract, so I get that. People are actually saying, no, don't want him to leave. I'll be disappointed. I can't have it all. People are saying you could have Matson as a left winger. Then you've got the why he's always injured and never plays. However, this is the part that got me. Have a look at this. Jacob Ramsey has more yellow cards than GA in the last 2 seasons. Ouch. 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 When you sell that, okay, when you actually say that, that's crazy. That's not good. That's crazy. That's crazy vibes, chat. Let that one sink in. More yellow cards than GA in the last 2 seasons. Issue. If Jacob Ramsey wasn't one of our own, we'd be a lot harsher on him. Do you agree or disagree? If Jacob Ramsey wasn't one of our own, would we be harsher on him? I think he gets a free pass. I think he gets because I think he gets a free pass from us Villa fans purely for that. Here's another bit as well, crashing in on Jacob Ramsey. Okay, so again, his output does seem very low last 2 seasons. Look at this. This has got to be at the forefront of Unai Emery's mind. Someone who loves stats, someone who loves data, surely doesn't looks at all of this. Forest linked with a move for Villa's Jacob Ramsey. Data doesn't look too impressive, but I've always liked the look of him when I've seen him play. So this could be very much be a case of Forest trusting their eyes more so than the database. One thing is for sure, though, Ramsey would help Forest retain possession in the opposition half. Then again, he scores very low in a lot of the quintiles, apart from final third completion. His assists are very low. His goals, his XG is low, shot quality. The stats don't look good. Again, I'm going to ask you this question on Jacob Ramsey. With Jacob Ramsey, is it true? Should we trust our eyes or should we trust our stats? Should we trust our eyes or should we trust the stats? For me, when I watch Jacob Ramsey play, he has a moment in the game, whether it's a goal, whether it's an assist, whether it's a close opportunity, and then the rest of Jacob Ramsey's play, for me, fades out. Goes missing. I actually would argue and say that sometimes I think Jacob Ramsey's better coming off the bench. I just don't see the pull and lure of Jacob Ramsey sometimes. Now, Again, is it because of his injuries? Is it because he's not someone who's had a regular run in an Aston Villa shirt for a couple of seasons now? Or are we being a little bit overcritical? I get he's had injuries. I get he's been wrecked by injuries. But I want to know. And I think that I'm going to be honest and call it as it is from my perspective. I think it's the eye test versus the data. The data for me says Ramsey ain't good enough. The eye test for me says when I watch Jacob Ramsey play, I'm always left looking for more. I want you to sit there and think. When you watch Morgan Rogers play, does his performances usually back up his numbers? When you've watched Leon Bailey play this season, did his performances back up his underwhelming numbers? Same with Jacob Ramsey. I think it's there. Yuri Tillemans, unbelievable numbers this season. And every time we watch Yuri, we're pearling. I think that Forest fans are going to try and deceive themselves and say, hey, the stats, ignore the data. Just worry about what you see. Trust the eye test. Well, when he says trust the eye test, how many games did he watch of Jacob Ramsey? Because again, when I go on some of these neutral shows, Never a Foul, for example, you always get people coming to me about, oh, Jacob Ramsey's a baller. Jacob Ramsey's this. And I'm like, the bloke hardly plays for us. He's not the main baller. Jacob Ramsey's amazing. He's okay. That's usually my response. People seem to overhype Jacob Ramsey more than we do. I don't know if that's a good sign or bad sign. As Villa fans, I think we downplay Jacob Ramsey, and I think other neutral fans hype him up a lot more. But 1874 says, no, doesn't absolutely done with Ramsey selling. Helps with transfer. Agree. British Mate says, completely agree, Josh. Spot on. I'm struggling to keep my criticism conducive with being a fan. Look, again, if he wasn't one of our own, we'd be crashing on him. So there we go. Yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. I love the Man U fans at it, and we rate that. Just going to scroll to the bottom, but yeah, everyone thinks everything rolls around Morgan Gibbs White, and it just doesn't. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one as well with that. But look, the final say on Jacob Ramsey here is this. When Jacob Ramsey has previously been linked with clubs, a potential fee has been upwards of 30 million. With Aston Villa also in the Europa League, and he's a valuable club-trained player for them, and will be homegrown quota for Nottingham Forest. This is why Jacob Ramsey is an asset, because he's a club-trained player. You have to have some of them in your squad. You can't have a squad of players you brought in. You have to have homegrown quota and status in your club. I'm a little bit like, it's the only reason, and I know that Unai Emery is aware of that. And Unai Emery often protects Jacob Ramsey. He often protects Jacob Ramsey as well. Again, just looking at like a Forest fan's perspective here, this is quite interesting. Again, how much of Forest fans actually watched of Jacob Ramsey? The positives: his profile, resale value, versatile, Premier League experience. Negatives: injury record and British tax. Well, 30 million isn't exactly British tax. His injury record, yes. Resale value, I get that one. Versatile? Nah. Jacob Ramsey's not versatile. Jacob Ramsey ain't versatile. Premier League experience, yes. The resale value is a really interesting one. But again, there's a lot of mixed bag. But Forest fans are talking themselves into a Jacob Ramsey transfer. Is Jacob Ramsey... Here's one for you Villa fans then. Is Jacob Ramsey better? Is Jacob Ramsey better than Anthony Elanga? Yes or no, chat? Is Jacob Ramsey better than Anthony Elanga? Let me know, chat. Is he better than Anthony Elanga? I'm going to put it out there. I'll take Anthony Elanga. So, essentially, Forest, you're not upgrading. You're not improving. You're not there. And look, Tommy K said technically, yeah. Honestly, I think some Forest fans are having a little bit of hopium here. I don't want to disappoint Forest fans, and I'll tell this to Wolfie as well. What you think you're getting? What you think you're getting with Ramsey? I don't think he's improving you. He's not your upgrade. So I can't help but say this, that Forest, you buy Ramsey, you haven't improved on Elanga. Well, what position does Elanga play? Because if he plays on your left wing, Elanga's a right winger. Who's your left winger then? Who's your left winger? Who's your left winger? Because again, Jacob Ramsey cannot play on the right, can't play as a false nine, an average number 10, but can play as a left winger. Who plays on Forest's left wing then? That's interesting. Who is it Hudson-Odoi? Well, do you know what I mean? Hudson-Odoi kisses over Jacob Ramsey. Basically, I think Jacob Ramsey probably needs another season at Villa. This is how I'd see it. If I was from Jacob Ramsey, Ramsey needs to stay at Villa for himself. He needs to be part of a fit full season for Villa. He needs to go a full season without getting injured. He needs to produce 10 or more GA, and he needs to be looking at knocking on the England setup. That's the ambitions he should say and play with. Can Ramsey go full season fit? We'll have to wait and see. Can Jacob Ramsey have a 10 GA? I'm not sure. But it's time now. There's no point beating around the bush, Jacob Ramsey. He's had enough time in the Premier League. It's now time to show his experience and raise his shoulders. So apparently it's Jota Silva is right side. Sosa was left, who just sold. Again, I question if he is better than any of them. Pains me to say Elanga's better in a 45-minute spell. Ramsey's better in a short burst. Yeah, look, I think that's right. Alan Ford is right. The Lord is right. Jacob Ramsey will give you 10 minutes of brilliance and impact. I've got 2 games in my head. FA Cup games against Tottenham and against West Ham. I'm pretty sure Jacob Ramsey scored early in both those games. I'm pretty sure Jacob Ramsey scored really early on against Spurs in the FA Cup. That's what Ramsey does. He starts the game on fire and you're like, oh, bloke's cooking. The bloke is cooking. And then fades. In fact, let's have a look at it. Let's go straight into it. Let me see if I can get Jacob Ramsey's season up here. Let me see if I can get Jacob Ramsey's season up here. I mean, I don't like. I mean, I've just seen his GA this season, chat. I've just seen his GA. Without looking, if anyone does know this, don't answer. What do people think Jacob Ramsey's GA this season is? Without looking. What do you think Jacob Ramsey ended the season just gone with his GA? I've just looked at it and it's just crazy. What do you actually think he ended? If you know the answer or you're Googling it, don't bother. But if you're having a pot guess, what actually do you think Jacob Ramsey's GA was? The guy, JJ, one of our own, someone we're holding on to. What do you think he actually had? Because I'm about to blow your mind. I'm about to blow your mind. Where is it? I just had that stat here. I've lost the I need to go on the other profile. That's why. One sec. Jacob Ramsey. Oh, I'll just share this now, and then I want to get the thing I was looking at. Here we go. Here we go. Are you ready? JJ's GA is the following. Share screen. It's absolutely dog. 4 GA. 4 GA. 29 matches, 1 goal, 3 assists. He's had 6 cards in the last 2 seasons, and he's had 2 goals. I mean, chat, it's terrible. It's terrible. 4 GA. I mean, how do you feel looking at that? 24 now. He's not a 21-year-old. He's 24. 24 years old. The only thing you might hold on to, the only thing you'll hold on to is in his 22-23 season, he had 6 goals, 7 assists. And he played 35 games, so near enough full fitness. But this is the problem with Villa fans. This is the problem. We are holding on to Jacob Ramsey before he got a significant injury. He's not been the same player. Injuries can change players. It's horrible to say, but that data itself and the metrics that we see, the last 2 seasons, Jacob Ramsey has not been able to get up to speed. Do we really think, and I'll be honest, 29 games, he's close to the full ticket, isn't he? He's not too far off. 29 matches. It wasn't exactly injury-ridden as such, but 29 matches in the Prem, 1 goal, 3 assists. Maybe that's why 30 million now, I said 40, 45. I now look like an idiot. I've tried to get Jacob Ramsey on a 40, 45 million. How on earth are you meant to sell Jacob Ramsey for 40, 45 million with those stats and metrics alone? You really are now having to get people to go on the eye test. You really are having to try and persuade that the eye test is the only test needed for Jacob Ramsey and nothing else. Dear, oh dear, chat. A little bit worrying. So yeah, I think it's going to be hard to shift him. I think we're going to have to keep him and see what happens on that one. So yeah, that's my thoughts. The last bit on Jacob Ramsey though is this: not only have we got suitors from Forest, but apparently, Everton and West Ham both retain an interest in Villa forward Jacob Ramsey. Forest have made the player their primary summer target. Everton and West Ham. Why are all these clubs so interested in Jacob Ramsey? Why do they want him? Why do Everton, West Ham, Forest want him? Is it because that he's English, that he's a hyped up, that he's respected? I want to know what people think. Yeah. Would you rather Bailey? Oh gosh, would you rather Bailey or Ramsey go? I think people would still say Bailey to go because you can get more money for him and get his wages down. Remember, Jacob Ramsey's on smaller wages, but I think a lot of people would rather see Bailey go than Jacob Ramsey. So that is a good question. But yeah, I wouldn't have to run a comparison now. We need the quota for Europa. West Ham and Everton just need players because they're pants. That's true. But the quota is massive, isn't it? Hence why I think Unai Emery will keep him. And that's as far as I see it as. I think Unai Emery will not get rid. I think Unai Emery will keep him, and that's the way they think the cookie's going to crumble. What is everyone's thoughts in the chat? Do you think we're going to get rid of him? Do you think we are going to get rid of Jacob Ramsey? I'm going to leave the kit launch till last, but let's get into more Aston Villa Man United links. Okay. This one won't go away. And we're going to Ramsey wants to go to Spurs. I think Spurs have moved on from JJ as of Newcastle, I believe. AB says probably not. Michael says no, but I want to. His potential is shown has raised eyebrows across the Prem. It's the thing. People are holding on to his potential, but there's got to be a time when he does deliver, right, chat? There's got to be a time where he actually does step up and deliver the goods, so to speak. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Alan. Okay, next one. Emi Martinez story. There's 2 things to show on this. Manchester United made a move for Emi Martinez. Negotiations are already underway with Aston Villa. Now, again, this could be another BS story. We're talking, I know someone's put it in the chat about the fact that Man United haven't sold Onana yet. So how on earth can we have this conversation still? If I'd seen Onana leave Manchester United, and the moment I see Andre Onana leave Manchester United, then I'm absolutely telling you that it's Emi to United. Emi Martinez will go to Man United if Onana leaves. As long as Onana is still at Manchester United, it ain't happening. Now, Mark Goldbridge, I think someone mentioned at the start, is banging the proverbial drum about Emi Martinez having a breakdown in relationships with Unai Emery. People have got to decide who they believe. Which source, which accreditation do you believe? Are you going to believe the Manchester United Mark Goldbridge fan channel claims he has people in the know? You're going to believe these journos, or are you just going to believe Unai Emery, Monchi, and Emi's body language? Now, right now, as I said, for me, right now, as I said, Unai Emery, Emi Martinez will still be at Villa, in my opinion. I'm not leaving that trail of thought. Unai Emery and Emi Martinez, I don't think there's a rift. But listen to this. And actually, sorry, the source, just so you're aware of the source, who reported this one. Gaston Idol. Now, Mustafa said he's a good source. 1.1 million followers. Not bad. Not bad. How good of a source is he? He's had an interview with Leo Messi, so that seems to be his thing. He's saying the Thiago Almada, but we're going to go to that Emi story in a minute. Is he the next Fabrizio? Is this guy like a Fabrizio Romano? He does seem to get good interviews and stuff. Let's go on to this one, though. I'll get it in the English translation. So, it is believed then. We're going to show you. So, this video is in Spanish. So the video says he's a priority for Amaron. Negotiations are underway, and as of today, United is the club that has made the most progress on Emi, and the club showing the most interest. That's the story on Emi Martinez. That's the story on Balamori. Again, I think this video is in Spanish, so...
Manchester United avanza concretamente por Emiliano Dibu Martínez. Lo quiere en serio. Es prioridad para Amorim. De hecho, ya están hablando entre Aston Villa y Manchester United. Resta todavía que se siga negociando, pero hoy por hoy es el club que más avanzó por él y que más interés mostró. Manchester United.
So, luckily, we're going to believe the translation of this guy. So, avfc Faithful has said, and he's translated that video for us, and he has said, a priority for Amaron. Negotiations underway, and as of today, United is a club that has made the most progress on Emi, and the club showing the most interest. It's either BS and speculation, and this guy's guessing, or he's got something. My only thing is, why has Goldbridge been banging this drum? And now why has this guy come in? Michael's saying it's just another Fabrizio wannabe. I can see that. But Goldbridge is banging the drum, and so is he. Goldbridge has no credibility. I listened to his podcast, and his takes, worse than Simon Jordan. Damn, is it that bad, is it? So here's Onana. What is Onana's current situation at Manchester United? That's what I want to know. Big up to everyone in the chat. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Grace Lynn said, I finally managed to catch a live stream again. Big up and welcome back. He's an Argentinian journalist, Josh, for Villa fans. So Emi Martinez, Argentinian, journo, Argentinian. I see it. I think you're totally wrong, Josh. Emi has had previous interviews. He loves it here. The Kamara teammate said, I think Emi will stay. It's very torn. Look, I've been very much Emi staying. My feelings have been that Emi staying. You know, even I've seen him saying it to Heidi the other day. I said, look, she asked me about, is he staying? I said, I think so. I said, look at this picture. And I showed her the picture of him arriving at training. He looks a calm, happy guy with his little mug, with his wash bag. Looks calm, looks happy, looks collected. I think he stays, right? But why are the media so keen to push this story? That's what I want to know. And if Andre Onana is leaving, then I will get worried about that one. I really will. So that's the situation with Emi Martinez. I think he's staying. I just don't see any other I don't see any other outcome apart from Emi Martinez stays at Aston Villa. We haven't signed Marco Bizot to be a number one, right? We haven't signed Marco Bizot to be a number one. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. So, yeah. Weird that the journos want to push it. Weird that it's almost like Manchester United are paying journos to try and push it. My feelings are, if he wants to win shows, why would he go to a team that's not guaranteed success? Exactly. United are nowhere near. Emi said he wanted to win the FA Cup. Watkins might be going to Liverpool. I'm going to literally come on to that one in a second. Garnacho Villa, interesting. I am going to come to that Garnacho story as well. His wages are going to be stupid again. I can't imagine Emi not being a Villa player. It's yeah. When people say Emi Martinez, you think of Aston Villa and Argentina. That's it. You never think of his time at Arsenal. You obviously never think of any of his loan spells that he had while being at Arsenal. But there we go. But look, Mustafa's trying to convince himself that it's going to be real. He could be having the final laugh here, or we could all be coming at the end of when and going, Mustafa, we told you it's not happening. So it'd be interesting how that pays out. But let's go to this next story then. This guy's name, it's weird. Again, I'll come to my thing about Mark Goldbridge in a second. If Liverpool cannot sign Alexander Isak, they have looked at Ollie Watkins as an option. Are they absolutely mad? I mean, Liverpool are moving mad this window. Let's just get that one started. But second of all, if they do land Isak, that's scary. But do you know what? If there was one team Ollie Watkins would thrive at, it would be Liverpool. If Ollie Watkins moved to Liverpool, I think he'd be absolutely perfect for their system, for the way they play, for their style. However, it's the male sport, and it smells of that funny old BS smell that we keep talking about. But I've got an issue. My issue is this, and someone help me get my head around it. Why then is Ollie being linked away to every club? We've had bloody Saudi Arabia links, Al Hilal. We've had Man United links. We've had Arsenal links. We've now got Liverpool links. Who else wants to join it? I'm just waiting for Chelsea, even though they've already got number 9s. I'm just waiting for Chelsea to join. I'm just waiting for Chelsea to join. I'm just waiting for Chelsea to add their name to that list as well. It's absolutely stinking BS, in my opinion. But low key, no joke, Ollie Watkins would cook at Liverpool. He's like Bobby Firmino was, in my opinion, but a bit different. And Bobby was the key to that Liverpool side. I think Watkins even got linked to Newcastle as well. But I've got a weird thing. Why will they not keep Emi Martinez's name and Ollie Watkins' name out the media? Why do we constantly have their names being touted by journos to try and sell them? I don't like it. I don't get it. And personally, it's starting to wind me up a little bit. It's not good. It's poor for the disruption. Go on then. Let me see. Is there one fan here in the chat who thinks either Ollie or Emi go? One of them. Does anyone think we'll see Ollie or Emi go? Let me know. Come on. Who's brave enough to voice it? Who thinks that Ollie or Emi will go? One of them, both of them, none of them. In fact, you can all join in. Put 0 if you think neither go. Put 1 if you think one of them goes. Put 2 if you think they both go. Give me a number, 0, 1, or 2 in the chat. Everyone participate in this. Give me a 0, 1, or 2 in the chat. 0 means none go. 1 means one of them go. 2 means 2 of them go. And people are getting a little bit silly as well because of this. Like this is the panic and hysteria. I want to see a lot of 0s. Wow, Brainy Bryant saying 2. Yeah, 0. Strong 0 coming in the chats. Strong sense of 0. Brainy Bryant's going 2. I like that. 1, Emi. Brett Smith just can't even comprehend it. Alan's going 1. We've got a few 1s. We've got 1, 2, and a lot of 0s. I like it, Villa fans. It's staying faithful to it. But look at this. Do you want to know how much we overanalyze? Do you want to know how much we overanalyze? Look at this. No mention of Emi in the Bizzle interview leads me to believe we're still on the thought process of him leaving. Okay, Sean, up the Villa. I'm going to tell you something. Why would the new sub-goalkeeper mention Emi Martinez? Why? Why would Bizot, in his interview, even need to mention Emi? Bizot, of course, is an older keeper. He's 34. He doesn't need to say in an interview, oh, I can't wait to learn off Emi Martinez, or I can't wait to push Emi Martinez. You're not going to say that in an interview. I feel like some fans are really clutching. Again, are you one of these? Maybe you're in line with Sean. Is it weird? Is it not weird then that the new goalkeeper who's signed hasn't mentioned Emi Martinez? Does anyone else find that weird? Is anyone else putting it? I'm waiting for Mustafa to say yes, it is. Big up James Wood. Yeah, better late than never. Fraser as well. Love that you nearly. I love that you are nearly on 4 years as well. But yeah, Emi will go. Alan's convinced. There we go. Yeah, I just think that's clutching. That's absolutely clutching. So there we go. Man, you're arguing over Buttons from Bueno. So what makes you think they'll cough up for Martinez? Not happening. Again, though, I think Emi's going to go cheaper than we think. But yeah, I agree, Christina. Listen, we'll see what happens on that one, but we're clutching at straws. A lot of zeros, I like to see. Right. Enzo Baranchea, I've got a weird thing about this one. This is actually reported from Fabrizio Romano. Chat, what are Villa doing with these loan deals right now? Enzo Baranchea deal is a loan with an obligation to buy for 15 million under certain conditions. Here we go. Okay, people, I need to know what this under certain conditions BS is. Why is it just not Enzo Baranchea is being sold? Why, oh why are we loaning out a player that we obviously don't want? Do you think that under certain conditions potentially could be inserted in a clause if Kamara doesn't stay? James has noticed the badge on my top as well. Yeah, trust me, Heidi and I have been trying to fix it. We probably will finish in about 10, 15 minutes, AV Transport. But yeah. So we're loaning out another player again. But we put an obligation to buy, which means Benfica have to buy him. There's a choice, they have to. But under circumstances. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of this. I need help, chat. I've never heard of an obligation to buy, but under certain conditions. So my translation is, we think we want to get rid of Enzo Baranchea, but we're not quite going to put our neck on the line just yet. We do need the money if we have PSR issues next season or SCR issues. However, we also are worried that Boubacar Kamara isn't going to sign another contract. And what happens if Yuri Tillemans goes and one other? So maybe we might need him. So Benfica, basically Benfica will sell him to you, but only if our house is all tidy. That's how I read it as. I don't think it's something like unless he plays X amount of games for Benfica or if he makes X amount of international appearances. I don't think it's any of that malarkey. I think it's there. Spent around 80 quid on membership donations. That's goat, sir. That's because of the goat, isn't it? That's because of the goat, sir. Big up to you, my friend. And well done for getting your channel flying as well. I love it. Keep those live streams coming as well. But yeah, loan again. Brainy Bryant's fuming about it. We're going to go into the kit in a minute, but I do want to cover the Garnacho story. Unai's happy to go into next season in the same squad, so we'll only sell for getting someone better. It does seem that way. Are we excited for Walsall as well tomorrow? Yeah, everyone's fuming about my badges. Trust me, guys, we've tried to glue it on. It's not as easy as just ironing it down. There's something going on there. There's something going on there. But hey, we style it out. Do you know what I mean? We style it out. We style it out. But yeah, guys, please do run up the like button for me. Let's get up to 50 likes. Come on, run it up now. Run the ting up. 50 likes. Let's go. And do share the stream if you haven't done so already. Okay, where's my Garnacho story that I want to share with you all? Alejandro Garnacho. Again, dusty, and dusty. It's a lot of Mel Sport stuff, whether you like the Mel Sport or not, but it keeps getting touted around. I don't see this one. Aston Villa among the clubs monitoring developments of Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho. Sorry, stories just come up about Louis Barry joining Sheffield United on, guess what? Another season-long loan. What are we doing? Why do we keep loaning players? What is this? Cat. Aston Villa among clubs. What? Because he did this. I think Garnacho completely splits opinion. Garnacho splits opinion. I don't want him. Simple as that. That's all I've got to say on that. I don't want Alejandro Garnacho. Keep him away from me. Yeah, big Alan Fordham. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you tomorrow, Alan. And enjoy the snacks. Imagine this. Villa is loaning Endo to Benfica to occupy their registration list. They won't sign João Felix on loan, so Emery finally can get his dream target. Imagine if there was some sick thing to that. Imagine if this was actually legit. This is the weird world that we're in. Imagine that is the weird old world that we're in. God's sakes. Because he has been linked to Benfica and we take up the loan list. That would be absolutely nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Big up to Stuart. The media want our top players to leave Villa because they do not want Villa consistently in and around the top six. And they're afraid we'll push Man United and Spurs out. They hate that thought. They certainly do, friend. And it's a very good point, Stuart. Crazy. I don't want Garnacho. Keep Garnacho away from my club. I've got no interest in it. Absolutely no interest. Right, let me just quickly show you the Louis Barry loan story. This is reported from Sky Sports just a second ago. We don't want to sell players, it seems. We're like stuck on loaning people. Why? Louis Barry is expected to join Sheffield United on a season-long loan. Didn't we do Cameron Archer to these lot on a season-long loan? We had a weird relationship with Sheffield United, clearly, but yeah. Are we not interested in getting 5 million for Barry? Why can't we sell? Why have we become Aston Villa Loan FC? Like, why do we keep loaning players? Why do we keep loaning players? I don't get it. Kevin said if we signed Garnacho, Josh would be all over it. Listen, any signing, I probably would have celebrated this, right? But I even think, even if we signed Garnacho, I'd be like, no, what has this become? And you know how desperate I am for signings, Kev. I don't know if I can get about that. We need Mavericks. British Schmidt says take a punt on a Maverick. I get that. We've tried that though with JD. That didn't work. I think Bizzo can do the Bizzo. Good old Bizzo. We've been linked since the start of the window for Garnacho. Isn't he got expensive wages though? When we look at our SCR, what is Garnacho on a week at Manchester United? Does anyone know? Loan FC, you know it. Brainy Brian. Garnacho, let's have a look. Garnacho wages. 50 apparently. Apparently, I'll just show you. Apparently, whether you believe it or not, AI overview, whether you believe this. Alejandro Garnacho's weekly wage at Manchester United is 50,000. This was a new result of a new contract signed earlier in the season. The wing is expected to receive a significant pay increase, potentially 10 times the previous salary as a reward for his performance contribution to the team. 50k is apparently the talking point. I wonder if this has it. 50k then. He's definitely on 50k, I think. Yeah, he's down the bottom of this. There's a little thing there. There he is. It's true. I found it. I found something. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, chat. Alejandro Garnacho is 50k. According to this, he's on 50k, which is absolutely nothing. So now Alejandro to Garnacho to Villa is something I could see if he's coming on 50k. So his Man U wages are interesting. Kobe Mino on 20. Garnacho on 50. No wonder he wants out. Look, they had Malassi on 75, who hardly plays. Zerski 105. Anana 120. Mason Mount on 250k a week. It's crazy. Erasmus 85. But yeah, Johnny Evans was earning more than Alejandro Garnacho. No wonder he wants out. Anthony stealing a wedge as well. Mason Mount 250k is absolutely. I thought we were getting done over with Anana and Daniel Marlin on the wages they are. So there we go, chat. That's Garnacho to Villa. You've got my head turned a little bit more now. You're not gonna lie. You've got my head a little bit turned here because of the wage structure that he's on. Okay. What do we make of the new kit, people, in its glory? The new kit has dropped. Villa did it in a very Villa way. Out of absolutely nowhere, we did it. Absolutely out of nowhere, we dropped this kit. No spoilers, no teaser. We just went, you know what? Let's drop a video. Here is the kit. What do you think? This gold bit's lush. I love the patterns inside. Are you a fan of this new kit? Do let me know. I'm going to get some more pictures up for you so you can see better ones. Yeah, they just dropped it out of nowhere. They just dropped it. But this is the weird thing, right? This is the weird thing about the kit. This is the weird thing. I put a new classic, but it's not available till 2 days' time, Thursday. Look, I do love the gold rimmings. I do love that gold on the outside, the yellow gold. I love the little fabricated detail. Big up that bicycle kit. Yeah, I agree. There's John McGinn in it as well. You can see the little patterns there. Tidy. You can see the gold. You can see the dots, and there's some nice stripe there. Quite like this part as well. Looks smart. And yeah, you can see that close-up design and pattern on the shirt. I think this one goes another level. People saying round the badge. I just think it goes another level. I think it just goes to that next level, this shirt. I do rate it. I do think they've done well here. And I do think that, again, in the biggest grand scheme of things, Villa are taking their marketing really seriously. People have said, though, there was no messing. Chris Heck, there's always a little bit of a mess and a tease and a spoiler or whatever. Villa just dropped the kit the night before Walsall, no warning, just went, have some of this, Villa fans. And by the way, you need to buy it on Thursday. However, we obviously have to drop a new kit, but I think people are just saying, come on now, get us a new player in the new kit at least. And I must say, it's the 15th of July. It's 15 days since that PSR deadline, and we still have made one first-team signing in Marco Bizot, and it's not getting us fans chomping yet. The first game's tomorrow against Walsall. I am excited to play Walsall. We will be covering the game on here and Big Up. We're doing a double crossover, just for everyone who's aware. On Big Up, I'll be showing the full game. I'll be able to get away with showing the full game. And on here, I'll just be doing a normal talk. So you can come and join the watch along on either platform to enjoy the Villa. But if you don't want to buy Villa TV, I should have your back. You can watch the game for free. So if you don't want to buy a Villa TV pass, I've got your back. I'll be able to show it to you without getting copyrighted, which would be good. I'm going to scratch your back, help you out. Should be able to show that on Big Up. No problems, no copyright, all good. So yeah, I think that's quite exciting to say at the least. I was going to try and show the game here on YouTube, but I still think it's a little bit of a risk. So I'm going to do it like that, I think, all considering. So yeah, if you do want to be able to do it, then you have to join me on the Big Up platform to be able to do that. So there we go. And I've got your back on that. But guys, I want to be sat here talking more about player incomings, player announcements. I'm still left absolutely starving. I'm still sort of waiting for it to happen. And we're not there. We're not there. And I am going to be patient. I am going to hold tight. But I don't know how much longer for, is basically where I'm at. Right. I'm going to see if I can redirect you to the Villa Park podcast. Has Rich enabled? I told him, I messaged him saying, listen, get your redirect on. AVS Stato has it, but I don't think Rich has got it on. Villa Park podcast. Yeah, redirect privileges. Look, right, guys, anyone who's watching Rich's podcast, right? Anyone who does watch the Villa Park podcast, can you tell Rich that I've tried to redirect to him? You can even see it here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see. I've actually tried to redirect to him, and it says, redirect privileges needed. Ask the Villa Park podcast to add you to their live redirect list in community settings. He needs to enable it, otherwise I can't redirect to him. So yeah, I did try. So when you go on his podcast, so Josh has tried to redirect you, but he can't, basically, and give him that little reminder. But yeah, we like a good old redirect. But yeah, guys, yeah, just link his pod in chat. Yeah, but just let him know though in the future, because again, it does help him. It does help him as well if redirects are on, because who knows, someone else could redirect to him. Let me try and get his. Let me try and get his channel quickly. Where is he? The Villa Park podcast. I saw it earlier. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There we go. Yeah, you just have to let him know that Josh. If someone could put that in the chat to him, I'd do it. So Josh tried to redirect, but he can't. Just say, Josh from Aston Villa from the stands said, turn your redirect on in the future, because you basically say that. So Josh said, turn your redirect on for the future. But there we go. That is Rich from the Villa Park podcast. Tell him I sent him there. And that would be great. But people, thank you for tuning into mine. As always, we'll be back tomorrow with the watch along. Cannot wait. It's going to be epic. It's going to be good. And looking forward to getting involved with you guys in all that great content. And the first game of the season. People, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, and I'll see you all very soon. I'm out of here. Ta-da.